Welcome to another episode of my podcast, That's Fine With Me. Today we're going to be talking about sensitive topic, Diddy. And not even Diddy, but Sean Diddy Calm, if I'm mistaken. And it started in 2023 with the accusation of another singer, Cassie, who accused him in a year-long abusive relationship, and he actually was abusing her, raping and beating and all of it, according to the source. So all of this information I gained from YouTube. I gained this from Fox 5 News, I guess, page, and then I checked out some other sources like TikTok and other articles through internet. That is the main reason why it's some sort of disclaimer. All of this information is not coming from me. It's coming from the sources that I was searching from some information. So let's talk about this whole situation that started. In 2005, Diddy signed Cassie, the singer who was apparently 19 back then, and he was 37. He signed her in his own label, and he found interest in this girl. Then he was kind of forthcoming all the time, and he wanted to pursue her into dating him, though she was dating in 2006, if I'm mistaken, or 2007 with someone else. And later on, I guess she gave up and she started dating Diddy. And then while she was dating him, a lot of things happened, like Fox 5 claims the suit allegates that, prone to uncontrollable rage, Diddy subjected her to savage beating in which he punched, kicked, and stumped her. It alleges he plied her with drugs and forced her to have sex with other men while he masturbated and filmed them. That is sick and twisted, and a lot of people are saying that wasn't an issue back then, and she was afraid to talk and speak and say what really happened then. And then she, I guess when it was just enough is enough, and when she was ready to talk, a lot of other victims came forward and they filed an abusive relationship towards Diddy. Sean Diddy Calmer, I guess. I don't remember his surname. It's just not the point here. Well, in February 2024, this February, this year, Lou Rod John sued Diddy for sexual abuse as well. And a lot of people are not even happy about the fact that he sexually abused this grown producer and man, but that Diddy was sexually interested in men as well. He was gay and his masculinity was doubted. And I feel it's not normal to see the situation from this angle. When one person is sexually abusing women, is it okay? Yeah, the society is going to be, it's bad, it's not good, and whatever. But as soon as there is a man in the picture, there's just a whole different story. People are not paying attention to the fact that there was some sort of sexual abuse, I guess, sexual abusement. I don't even know how to say this, but I guess so. They're just seeing this from a little bit different angle, like gay, and they're just objecting the sexuality of the situation, though they should pay attention to the fact that it's basically sexual abuse, and he raped a lot of people, as they claim, and he actually beated them and did a lot of stuff that no one should do to anyone else. Diddy has been in the industry for a long period of time, since 80s, if I'm mistaken. He established his own label. He actually helped a lot of young singers to find their career, to establish their career. Unfortunately, with this, let's say, power comes some twisted thoughts, I believe, for some people, that they have all the power and they are invincible and they're not going to be punished anywhere anytime soon. I don't know when he started doing this whole thing with the raping, partying, and all of it, but I do know that all of these victims were mainly from 2000s, just this sort of era. Maybe in 90s he wasn't that powerful and he was sort of afraid to do all of the stuff, but from 2000 he had so many victims. And unfortunately, what he was doing a lot of the times, he was drugging his victims, and he used some substances and, there's lick them into their cocktails or champagne, any sort of beverages. And this way, anyone who was talking to him and partying, mainly there were two types of drinks and beverages. The one for his sort of friends and people he wanted to have good talk and whatever, and they had normal drinks with no substances in this, even if they just wanted to do this by themselves. or the second type of drinks that were meant for girls to numb them, to make them sloppy, and to take advantage of them. Another let's say victim came forward. I don't know if it's true or not. I saw her story from TikTok. The blonde girl with short hair, and she was apparently a singer, though I have never seen her before. I'm sorry, guys. This was the first time seeing this girl, and she was telling her story. It was really boring and took her like three parts to tell the story. But long story short, she had an agent. They were invited to the party with Diddy and his brother, if I'm mistaken, or someone else. And this girl, she noticed she had something in her drink. That's why she stopped drinking, and she wanted to tell the same thing not to do to her agent, just stop drinking. But her agent took a sip, and that moment this girl realized that her agent was on drugs. Then everyone left the room, all the girls and her agent as well, and she was left alone in the room with with Diddy and the rest. Diddy started, trying her out. He wanted to take off her clothes, her shirt. He wanted her to show her boobies or, like her body, and she managed to escape. That was it. She grabbed her agent and they left the building. That was the story. Unfortunately, I believe there were so many girls back then, they were really afraid to speak their truth. And frankly speaking, with social media, I guess we have access to tell the truth, to tell people what was really going on, as well as J-Lo and all of these years when she was trying to be, like, not even trying, she was kind of rude to people, and a lot of stories. I don't even know if those stories were true, or they were just out of nowhere. They came up with the stories by themselves. But a lot of people, explained their truth, that Janie from the block wasn't that simple as she described. And of course, let's talk about Justin Timberlake. Oh, let's talk about Justin Bieber. And it's going to be a sensitive topic. A lot of people are speculating that Justin Bieber could have been involved in some shady business with Diddy. Not involved in this sort of business, but that he was sort of raped by Diddy. Probably that was the main reason why Justin had to take all those drugs through these years, that the drugs that he described in his interview. And frankly speaking, I don't really like Justin Bieber, as he has a great voice, and I do have a couple of his songs, but I'm not a huge fan. So I'm not going to be sitting and pretending that I love Justin Bieber, I'm a huge fan or something like this. No, we're the same age. I remember he blew up and he was massive back in the day. Right now, people are talking about Justin Bieber as more like someone who is always constantly in sort of not even troubles, but he's like weird behavior, the way he treats his wife, and all of this shade towards Taylor Swift, all of it. And he has a beautiful voice. He wrote a song devoted to some time that he had troubles while he was introduced to this industry, Hollywood industry specifically. I don't understand two things. First of all, a lot of people are commenting that Justin spent 48 hours in Diddy's house when he was, I don't know, maybe 13, 14, I don't know what was the age. He was a teenager, he was a minor. And what was Diddy doing to Justin back then? And knowing that he was a pervert, masturbating while watching someone having sex with your girlfriend, it's definitely not healthy. And specifically, it's not healthy when you're abusing people, sexually abusing. And there were like numerous situations like this. And I guess most of the time Diddy had everything his own way. Even if he heard no at first, eventually he would still have things his way. Okay, and it's insane where were his parents. I don't understand. Though Diddy in this video explained that he had no custody over Justin Bieber. Why would I say Justin Timberlake? I don't know. Probably because Justin Timberlake was a friend of Diddy. But we're gonna move a little bit later to this topic about Britney Spears. And Justin Bieber is coming forward in a lot of investigation, like FBI, if I'm mistaken, is interested in this case. And most of the time, Bieber was quiet and he didn't want to speak. I don't know if he's ashamed of what happened to him or if he's like embarrassed. I don't know. Though it's nothing to be embarrassed about because he had no power over it. He was 13 and his parents should have been there to support him, especially his mom. We were sure. I mean, it's weird when a 30, 37 or like 42-year-old wants to spend some time with your kid alone. It's weird. Then let's say another thing, like where was his father. If I'm mistaken, they were divorced, his mom and his dad. That's why they had no choice. Like his dad wasn't in the picture, I believe, and he didn't really care about Bieber and probably doesn't care about him now. What I do know is Bieber is traumatized. I don't know if he's coming forward because a lot of other victims are coming forward and he found his let's say, opportunity to probably tell his truth. I don't know why is he saying this right now. Maybe because he's about to be a dad and he wants to protect others who are going to be, or maybe who are, or who were in the same position. That's why this his intention. But what I do know is that something happened there. It's definitely happened. Was he raped? We don't know. Was he abused? We don't know. Was he, just like, did they make him take drugs? Obviously, they did, and he said that a lot of people took advantages. And it's not only about Diddy. A lot of other grown-ups took advantage of Justin when he was maybe 15 or 16. A lot of them tried to kiss him. A lot of tried them to hug him when he felt uncomfortable, when people touched him without his permission, and it's not okay, definitely. A lot of people are saying that he had a pastor, I guess, some sort of, maybe from church, and he trusted him a lot. And a lot of people are speculating that Justin was kissing his pastor. He was, just like hugging him and holding him. That was weird. And then some allegations came forward when this pastor was accused in cheating, like his wife. And then Justin sort of like cut the strings between both of them. I don't know what was that, but it's just none of my business. It's weird that they kind of ruined him. I don't really know. I heard some rumors that Hailey Bieber, like Hailey back then, was sort of the same victim and she really liked Justin, but her uncle, not her uncle, but like Baldwin, brother, yeah, I guess her dad orchestrated the whole concept of their marriage and their dating because he saw the prospect in Justin and in his finance. And of course, he wanted the best to his daughter. That's why I don't know what was going on, but I do believe that there are two broken souls in this marriage. Hope that they can find light in their child, newborn child that is about to be born, I guess. Okay, and now we're moving to my pain, actually, Britney Spears, because I was a huge fan of Britney Spears, and I'm still a huge fan of Britney Spears. And a lot of people are sending me photos and pictures of her right now, that she's not okay, that she's mentally not okay, that she's acting out again, and all of that. And they're like, see, that's why she was under conservatorship, because she's not okay. And I'm like, well, let's say this from a little bit different angle. She was forced to go into this conservatorship. Then she had no choice but take some certain substances and some pills. They made her drink every single time, every single day, I'd say. And Kanye West mentioned something about pills that Britney took while this conservatorship, that they affect brains, and the like person cannot think critically, or something is wrong and it's messing with the brain. Unfortunately, I was looking for this information, and Diddy is accused in participating in this conservatorship and specifically pushing Britney Spears to this conservatorship. Some sort of Kardashians were involved, but I don't really want to dive into this because it's a little bit different story, I guess, to talk about. Right now, specifically, we're going to talk about Britney Spears, that it started in 2006 during the New Year's party on 31st of December, and as it was described in one of the videos, she took a sip of champagne, and something was in the champagne. A lot of people are saying that something was in this champagne. So she just dropped dead and sort of fell asleep. Then they tried to cover this. Later on, she was partying more and more in 2007, and in most of these parties, drugs were involved, specifically from her management. So the managers from her company and the team, they tried to drug her and to portray her in front of paparazzi that she wasn't okay and she needed some help. And they found some connections between Diddy. Lou Taylor worked as Diddy's manager, and Robin Greenhill paid Diddy's workers for some job. And all of this, like two of those people, they participated in this conservatorship and they pushed Britney Spears in conservatorship. And I'm specifically talking about Lou Taylor, former manager, Diddy's manager, and Robin Greenhill, that paid to Diddy's workers. probably Lou Taylor herself. And of course, Britney Spears' dad was in a huge debt. That's why he had a chance and opportunity, because he saw how much money his daughter was earning. And what was weird about some performance that happened. Do you remember when she wore this sort of like bra and some pants and she looked weird? While the performance, everyone was shocked and they thought that was some sort of joke that Britney Spears couldn't perform that bad. And the only person that wasn't shocked at all was Diddy. And apparently, Diddy was partying the whole night with Britney Spears the night before the performance. And a lot of people are thinking this move led to the final, let's say they executed the plan where Britney Spears was forced to get into this conservatorship, because people were like, oh, now she's definitely not okay. She'd been acting out from 2006, late 2006, I guess December, and then to September 2007. And they had 9 months. Her management, her staff, and specifically Diddy with his managers took some, I guess, their chance, and they put her under this conservatorship. That's why I heard some rumors, though I don't know if it's true or not, that Britney Spears is gonna file some lawsuit against Diddy, that he orchestrated the whole thing with the conservatorship, and probably he had some money out of it from her dad, because her dad, he had become the richest person, I guess, in the industry because of Britney Spears. Though, as they claim she was not okay, she was okay to work 24/7. Weird. Yeah, I know it. And I guess that is pretty much it for today's topic. I wanted to tell my piece of information, to share my piece of information, I guess, with you guys, that it's sick and it's weird that all of it has been in public for so many years and no one paid attention, or people were so afraid to speak up, to talk. Even celebrities that had power and money, like Britney Spears, they were muted, they were shut down, and they had no exit out of this situation. I really, I don't understand when a lot of photos, videos were leaked where Diddy had his own parties, and a lot of, these parties involved drugs. Where were, where was FBI or some other like police department, let's say? Why didn't they study this tapes and accused him and taking drugs and getting these drugs out of where? Where did he take his drugs? I didn't really like some interviews with his former workers, his bodyguard, and someone else, and they knew that he drugged girls. He knew he drugged not only girls, but other people who were partnered with him. They knew all of it, and then later on, they wanted to share this information in the interview that, yeah, Diddy was that bad, but where were you? Why didn't you file? Why didn't you say anything? And I know sometimes you have to do what you have to do because you had probably no job and you had family to provide for. But watching someone doing illegal stuff and sort of like participating in this in some ways because you did absolutely nothing is not okay either. What do you think about your daughter getting into this situation, your son getting into the situation, and you knew that someone saw this and did absolutely nothing as you did? What would you do? What would you say? You would probably scream everywhere that, like, where were everyone? What happened to this? Why didn't you pay attention? And you are responsible for this as well. Not only you, but like, I mean, all of these bodyguards, all of these workers, former workers and managers who knew about that, his staff who knew about that, they did this by their own hands. Most of the time, Diddy didn't really leak all these drugs into someone's beverages. I believe someone from his team was doing that. Of course, Diddy was involved, and of course, Diddy probably took a major part in this. But I believe some stuff was involved as well. And I feel like they should be responsible for this as well. Not only Diddy, but every single person. This trust circle has to be responsible for this. And another shout out to social media, that we can talk about that. We can have access to this information and say that it's not okay. It's not okay to neglect the fact there's so many broken souls and so many people that cannot speak their truth. And now they're able to do this with the help of social media and with the help of, the reach that social media has. For example, subscribers, like there are millions of people that are going to find out about this shady business. And maybe later on, CNN only showed us years and years later the footage of Diddy beating up his ex-girlfriend Cassie. But where was the hotel with the footage all these years? Where was it? Why did they leak it right now? And the funniest part, though it's not funny, Diddy denied all of the allegations and he said that Cassie was crazy and she wanted money and whatever, something like that. And when the footage leaked into CNN, immediately he was like on Instagram, yes, I'm so sorry. I did something wrong. I understand that. I take responsibility for that. No, you're a piece of shit. You're really a piece of shit that try to say that you didn't say that you didn't have anything to do with that. And now you're like, yeah, when they busted your ass, when they busted you, you were like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's not okay. No, like you're sorry is not gonna help in this situation. Go to jail. Go behind the bars and then you're going to be probably sorry behind the bars when someone else is going to probably rape you for doing this to kids. I assume kids or kid specifically, like Justin Bieber. I assume because a lot of people are saying that. Women, men, you know, you have to pay for your dues. Honestly, I'm not going to sit and pretend that, oh, maybe he didn't mean this, maybe no, he's a piece of shit. And it's disturbing. It's disturbing that something like this exists in modern world in 21st century with all the media, with all the departments, like police departments, with the FBI, with all this policy. We still have this Asian problem like medieval England. Not only England, just medieval age. Okay, guys, that is pretty much it for today's podcast. I was furious and I wanted to take this out of my chest because I hate when there's someone taking advantage of kids, women, men, people in general. Just it's not okay, guys. Love you all so much. I hope I'm gonna see you in my next podcast. And until next time, bye bye.